Today we will be reading Sibling Fights That Escalated Way Too Quickly. We were vacationing in Mexico and my parents asked if one of us, me or my younger brother, would go get the tortillas for the day. My brother didn't want to go, so I decided to almost choke him to death. Yeah, not my best moment. I pushed my sister down the stairs over a dresser for our Barbie doll dream house. Broke that collarbone. Ouch. I was 12, she was 14. She started going out with the boy she knew I fancied. I chased her up the stairs and she locked herself in the bathroom for the next few hours. We're best friends now, 23, 25, but I will never forgive her. He was mine. My sister and I were in middle school and my family was preparing to move to a new state, so emotions were high. We were fighting about something, I really don't remember what, and she is that kind of person who knows how to push people's buttons. She kept pushing those freaking buttons and suddenly I was chasing her around the house. She turned a corner and I didn't. I ran full speed straight into a corner of a wall. Blood was everywhere and it had to be stitched up by a plastic surgeon because it was so deep. My cousin's sister and I visited our grandmother once for the summer. It was so bad that our parents called nightly to calm us down from the fights we were having, and my cousins later leaving to stay at our other aunt's house, who lived about an hour away. We were all preteens, 10 to 12, and we just had backgrounds that were vastly different. My cousins, they were sisters, came from a poor single-parent inner-city home, but they had lots of friends and were athletic prodigies. My little sister and I were the sheltered artsy theater kids and lived in a pretty decent home in the suburbs. The four of us were staying with my grandmother and grandfather in their tiny 4 girls to a room with only one bed, Georgia home with dial-up and no AC. Our parents would send us money to buy groceries since my grandmother didn't make enough to pay for 6 people. We had just moved that summer to a new town and my mother, who was a teacher, wouldn't start work until the fall, so money was tight and my sister and I would watch jealously as my cousins would eat candy and ice cream and refuse to share. We fought over everything, showers and food and TV and internet, no smartphones. To make matters worse was that my sister and I, goody two-shoes, would call our parents to ask for permission to do everything. We couldn't watch MTV or play Grand Theft Auto or watch Bad Girls Club or listen to Eminem. We each had 1 hour to watch whatever we wanted on TV or play whatever game before we had to give someone else a turn. So that typically resulted in my sister and I having to sit out in the hallway or play outside while our cousins, who didn't have nearly as many rules, would get their turns while gossiping about how lean we were. We fought dirty and we fought often. And it wasn't simple bickering either. It was jumping on the bed, screaming, and personal attacks and throwing things around the room. We were never all that close, but that summer ruined any chance of ever being close with each other, which saddened our parents because that's the real reason why they sent us. We came back a month and a half later. We were only supposed to be gone 2 weeks. I still feel guilty today for what we put our grandmother through. On the flip side, I did learn a lot and would for sure call the summer a coming-of-age moment. I learned how to cook and iron. Why at 12 years old did I not already know that? And realized that I was really good with kids. One of the most memorable moments, however, was my cousins introducing my sister and I to porn. So when I came back home for the rest of the summer, I certainly did have some fun. LOL. My older brother won the genetic lottery. I was excluded from everything. Parents favor him most, and I just coasted along unnoticed. He used to be my best friend, then something happened and we got into a fight. I punched him in his handsome face and it shocked both of us. We didn't talk till after college when he found out my significant other was pregnant with my child. We are best friends again. When I was 17, I broke my 15-year-old brother's nose because he wouldn't put me down. My brothers were fighting and it got really violent and our parents were home. I started yelling and trying to separate them before someone got hurt. My older brother took a swing at me, decked me in the face, cracked my teeth, and sent my teeth through my bottom lip. Oh, I hope my boys don't fight like this in the future. My oldest sister can be really stubborn and sometimes can be a little bit selfish. 99.99% of the time we get on really well together and I love her to bits. But we're both quite similar and are just as stubborn as each other. I'm Irish but live abroad and met my ex-boyfriend here. He's French. We decided to visit Ireland and do a mini road trip. Part of the planned trip was to stay for a day or two in my sister's house as our last stop before driving back to my parents' house. Since it was just the two of us driving around, we rented a small crappy car. Can't remember what type, but it was small. Anyway, my sister is always shopping online either for clothes or random things for her house. There's a second-hand furniture store that she buys a lot of stuff from. There was a table she saw that she fell in love with. Only problem is the shop is about 1.5 hours from where she lives and they don't deliver. So she asked me if my boyfriend and I would take time out of our trip to pick up this table and bring it to her since we'd be coming to her anyway. We were going to the same county the store was in, but not necessarily going to the part that the shop was in. I told her that we had carefully planned out the trip to maximize our time enjoying it without too much travel, and we didn't want to go out of our way to pick up a table. And even if we did pick up the table, it might not fit in the tiny car we were renting. She rang me and wore down the phone at me. I'm 10 years younger, so I usually do just give in to her, but this time I stood my ground and roared back. We called each other selfish, among other things. It ended when I hung up the phone on her, something I've never done to anyone. My parents agreed that I was in the right and thought she shouldn't have been asking me and the ex to waste our time. We didn't speak for a few days after that. As it happens, at one point we were stopped at a traffic light and across the road there was the shop with the table. I told my boyfriend since we were beside it, we may as well go in and see if it would fit in the car. The shop was closed. I messaged her, told her that we passed the shop but that it was closed and we were leaving that night so wouldn't have a chance to go back for it. She messaged back not to worry about it and she'd sort out picking it up another time. We got to her house. She commented on how the car was in fact quite small and it would have been difficult to fit the table in. And that was it, all forgiven and forgotten, just like that. Her husband mentioned that he would have been really upset if he'd had a fight like that, and he was amazed we were both able to let it go so easily. I guess with siblings, you are connected by blood forever. Thanks for hanging out tonight with these stories, and please subscribe if you enjoy these videos. I do it so that I feel less alone, and if I can share this time with you, that's my goal. Hope you have a great day or evening, and see you in the next one.